Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day it may be for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Layback Gamer, and it has been oh so long, very, very long since I was back with another episode of Legends. But it has finally happened. I'm finally back with some more Elder Scrolls Legends. And, well, a lot has happened since I went away. I'm just going to cover what I've heard as of late. We'll start with the big 15 that I have down here, because that is related to all the new cards that... hold on a second. All the new cards that came out with the weird promotional that just suddenly poofed in out of nowhere. So, I haven't seen any of these yet. So, I'm going to kind of take a brief quick look at sort of share what I think about them, and we'll play a round of Legends. I'll sort of explain. Excuse me for a second. Oh, sorry about that. I'll sort of explain kind of what my plans are going forward, in case you haven't seen the update video for the channel that's going to be taking place for the next 4 weeks. And yeah, we'll have a little bit of fun. It's been a while. Alright, so explore, choose a creature, item, action, or support. Put a random card of that type in your hand. Okay, that's all. That could get you. It's an interesting random card. Pick something for your need. I feel like with support, supports or items, you're more likely to get what you're looking for, because there's a ton of actions in the game, a ton of creatures. Items don't have that as much as either, but supports, I believe, had the least out of all of them. So you might be able to find something what you're looking for, possibly not. Now, granted, not like for a random card, this would be pretty cool, and I could also see this working with a Unite the Houses deck. I mean, it's not always guaranteed to work, but it introduces it, like, it'll bring in another random aspect for it. So, interesting card. We have Strange Brew. Transform a creature in your hand into a random creature that costs 2 more and reduce it by 2. That could be powerful depending on what you happen to hit. I feel like there are a lot of really good late game cards, as well as there's some good early game cards. But the later on the game you go, the more choices you kind of have. Like, if we go ahead and, the more likely you are to get what you're looking for. If we go ahead and look at for 11, there's not a lot. I'm just using 11 as instance, or you can even use 12 as well. 11 we had, how many so far? That's 3. 12's 1. 2 for 12. Oh yeah, there's also a new card, a new era. You got, so that's 2 more 11s, so 5, I think? 3? 6 for 11, 7 for 11, and 5 total for 12. Oh, 13. 7 and 7. Okay, never mind. But yeah, if you're looking for, say, I feel like this card kind of gets a little bit better at the more you go down the higher cost cards you're trying to aim for. Like, you're pretty likely to find what you're looking for in a situation. For instance, if you want, say, a big hitter at 11 or 12, you got Siege Crawler, which is the biggest hitter. You can get Colossus, you could get Odaving, Parthenite. You get a lot of heavy hitters. Board control might not be as many options, although you got Mirak at 11, Odaving at 12. Parthenax could get you board control depending on what it drops. Divath is a risky play, and etc. Yeah, I'm just using that as an example for late game. I'm not sure about this. I don't think it's. It could be. It could see some use. Again, also one of those cards that could work decently in a Unite the Houses deck, but I don't see it really doing too much. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but the random aspect of it. Oh, it's only affected on creature. Okay, so you can take one away off of. Actually, you can take 2 off of 12, so that's a 1 in 5 chance. So essentially, a 20% chance you get what you're looking for, and a little bit less than that for 11. So, not so certain about that. One might not be a good use. We have feed. Destroy a creature and give its keywords to a friendly creature. I feel like this one, it's also trying to be a bit of a punishing for people who use Daedra, or the invade mechanic, which, by the way, I am aware that did get a nerf of it'll only affect the highest level gate. Thank you. That should have been how it worked in the beginning. That was just that was dumb the way it originally worked. But yeah, this is another way to kind of punish those players for running that. So, I think it'll be decent against those decks where, especially on turn 6, even if you haven't been doing that great of a job of controlling the gates, if you've been doing like an okay job, you could get out feed. Give the keywords to one of your friendly creatures, and you're likely going to have almost all of them equipped onto that creature. So, this is okay. It's okay. Oh, and afterwards you can use the creature that got the keywords off of feed to kill the gate, unless it had a ward. So yeah, that's something. So it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be actually, I'd say it would be good in that situation. In most other situations, it's just another piercing javelin. That's honestly what it is. By the way, I can't actually see it here. I'm still happy with that. I'm still excited that Manacora, he got his taunt back. I'm still excited about that to this day. Number 2, Obstinate Goat. I think I butchered that pronunciation, but if the top card of your deck is animal, draw it. Otherwise, put it at the bottom. That's a decent cycle card. Also has some pretty good stats. So yeah, I could see this getting played. I could definitely see this card having some spot in a deck. Especially if you're playing a heavy beast deck. Sadly, this will knock all your Spriggans to the bottom, but honestly, if you're looking for like a beast synergy, I guess I'm not really sure. It has decent stats, but I still think you'd probably would play Sly Marsh Bait. Actually, 110% you'd play Sly Marsh Blade over Goat any day. So yeah. And we have Midnight Burial. Betray. Choose a creature in your deck, create a copy of that creature in your discard pile, and give it +1/+1. This could be pretty powerful if you also have Soul Tear. Tribunal actually I think would use something like this, because it allowed them to put, say, their Odaving, maybe their Mirax in the grave, and then they use it to bring it back out. Back in the day, Slay Warrior would absolutely be broken in Slay Warrior, because you can guarantee that you get on turn 1, you play this, you throw one of the big creatures like an Iron Atronach or one of the Vampire Lords into your grave. On turn 4, you play Falkreath Defiler, and if it manages to survive, and he's able to get a kill, you get the kill, and then you bring out the creature and it's got more attack. So yeah, this would have been absolutely broken in Slay Warrior. But seeing as how it, well, actually, it's still, I think it, if people are still playing Slay Warrior, I'm not 100% sure. Haven't been following the meta as of late. This is still very powerful, very, very powerful. Matter of fact, nah, I'm not going to create a deck just for that. And then we have a bunch of new cards for it. So a bunch of new cards here. I'm not going to go... Well, here, let's start with the neutral new one. Let's see here. Where was it? Oh, Call Dragon, which I think this is a pretty cool card. I'm not going to lie. I think it's pretty sweet. Upgrades all of your shouts. I don't know if this is broken or not. That's the only thing. I don't know if this is a broken card. Does it upgrade all shouts wherever it is? Does it upgrade it if it's in your hand? Does it upgrade if it's in your deck? I think it's just all around. But the ability... Well, actually, it's not really that broke. It can't be considered to be that broken because it's a heavy cost. That's a late game. It makes shouts viable a bit more. On the back of it, it also summons a pretty powerful dragon to the field. And when you're getting into 12-cost dragons, there are 3 dragons that you can get off of Call Dragon. So I might whip up a fun Dragon Guildsworn deck, just to have some fun with this, and we can play it a little bit as one of the episodes later this week. I'm not going to start laddering not going to start laddering today, although actually, yeah, we'll hop on the ladder with this warrior deck that I made. But I think this is a cool card. I like it. Is it viable? If we get more shouts, I say it could make it a little more viability. Although, given some other recent news that I have heard, and I'll sort of talk about that while we're in game, it might be a while before we see any more shouts. But alright, I'm just going to go briefly through each of these new ones. Death Scythe, Drain. It would drain, deal damage equal to the number of creatures that died this turn. In Talvani, yeah, that's... Excuse me. That's pretty accurate. You can have a lot of creatures dying, especially through Betrayal, and just trying to get yourself a little more ahead. So, pretty good card to have for that. Enchanted Ring, Mobilize. Equip the wielder with all copies of Enchanted Ring from your discard pile. Then, if the wielder has 3 or more items, draw a card. Not as viable because the odds of you having all 3 of them on a creature at once, or even just trying to get 2 of them, it's not really that high unless you're running a heavy item deck. Putting 1 on it I could see, but I don't really think that you'd want to run this. It's not one of those guaranteed draw cards. I do understand the reference of this one though. Death Scythe was a ability that the Necromancer can use in ESO. Enchanted Ring is a reference to the 3 enchanted rings and 1 amulet you had to pick up in Sarthal in Skyrim. Ultra spell making for, well, making spells in Oblivion. I don't know if you could do that in Morrowind. If you could, then I guess it could also be a throwback to that, but I know it from Oblivion. At the end of your turn, if you played a creature, item, action, and support, play the top card of your deck. That could be pretty good if you're able to play all of that, but the odds of you being able to play all 4 of those cards in one, you'd have to wait for it to... You would really have to be saving up quite a bit. I mean, with my Guildsworn, I think the most I've managed to play a creature, item, and action all in one go. But I've never been able to do all 4 in one. So if somebody's able to pull this off and relatively consistently, please let me know, because currently I don't really think this is that great of a card. Ordinator of the Alumsvi, guard exalts 3 +2/+2. It remains permanently shackled unless you have an exalt creature in play. That's pretty fair. You get a 5/5 with guard, so kind of same with as a normal Ordinator, except it's not immune to spell targeting, and it has to always be shackled. But the nice thing about this is if you silence this card just to get rid of the stats, it's still able to attack. So it's one of those nice abilities. I'd say, yeah, you would probably run this in Tribunal. It's all around a decent creature, and even if you don't exalt it and get a creature out that can exalt, it's, it could still do a little bit of damage, and it guards, so it'll protect you. Wild, I'm not even going to pronounce that. This, I imagine, is probably a Morrowind time callback. Charge, summon friendly creatures gain rally this turn. Yeah, that'd be pretty. That's interesting. Not quite sure where you'd see this though. I mean, if you have a lot of creatures on the board and you want to buff up a card in your hand, sure, but I'm not quite sure how viable this is, because I haven't seen a lot of rallying going along. And then we have Red Mountain, which, obvious throwback. Your creatures with 5 power or more cost 2 less. That would be a good reason to play Rally, because you can artificially make a 5-cost creature and then have it cost 2 less. So this is a card that is indeed worthy of being in Dagoth class. House Dagoth, yeah, for some reason I couldn't think of the name, even though it's staring at me it was staring at me right here. Yeah, this is definitely a good card for that class. It gives them another support and a way to possibly decrease their stronger creatures. Not to mention, it also acts as another target for any card that can destroy support. That also does another effect. So Shadowfen Priest can destroy this or silence another creature. Probably could destroy this, and then on turn 5 slap out Enforcer. I forgot the name of it. It's the 5. Hand of Dagoth, that's what it is. You then would play that after this, and even if you don't get the cost decrease, this still would effectively have tanked up the Sorcerer, or Etiquette of Azura. It tanks up that. So yeah, pretty good card. I'd say this is could be arguably the best card out of all 15 of those cards, or 16 that were added into the game. And then we have Smuggler Underboss, a nice picture of Delvin there. Drain, at the end of your turn, if you play 3 cards this turn, he's immune to damage until your next turn. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good ability. And with House Halahu, you could definitely keep this going for a couple turns. However, afterwards, it then just becomes a 4/3 with Drain, which is still pretty good. It's pretty good for its class. So, yeah, I'd say this is also a fairly good card too. Ultimer Spellwright. When your opponent takes 1 damage, you gain 1 magicka this turn. I know that Ultimer High Elf or Aldmeri Dominion definitely has a lot of ways in order to trigger this condition. So, and that also includes, swinging into it with creatures. Yeah, I could see this. This is alright. It'll allow you to play your bigger creatures out. You could play Spellwright on turn 5 with another creature. Turn 6, if you can get them both to hit face, you can then play Arian out. Yeah, I think I said the name right. I don't know, it's been a long time. The Dominion Queen. And she'll bring back an action, deal 1 damage, and I wonder if that's an infinite loop in the making there. I wonder if there's an infinite loop that you can make with Aldmeri Dominion Spellwright and the Dominion Queen. I'd have to explore that a little bit. Pack Outcast, Guard, Summon, and Veteran. Consume a creature. It can use the consumed creature's Veteran ability. So it really only works with the Veteran. I mean, no, 5/5 with Guard is still okay, but I really don't see it working too well out. I'm sorry. I might be wrong about this, but I just don't see it working out so well. And then we had a new era, and that's the last one. So shuffle all creatures into your deck. I'm going to assume that that's all creatures on the field and in the graves. I don't think it would be in your opponent's decks. So yeah, that would be an interesting one, especially if it affects all creatures in your opponent's deck. That could be concerning. If it's just on the field, then while that also would be concerning, it's not as much as if this card can pull creatures out of your opponent's deck and use. I don't know. I'd have to see it, but anyways, I've wasted enough time here. Let's go ahead. We're gonna hop into the, as you can see, starting all the way from the bottom because I'm that epic. We're gonna climb all the way to the top within the next few weeks. The 15th currently. I have 16 days. Actually, it's about to be the 16th, so I have 15 days in order to get to that point. So, let's go ahead and crank out with this warrior deck. It's a orc warrior with the new card, the recently new card, Champion of the Arena. The one that I liked, especially since it was a callback to the actual Grand Champion of the Arena. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to play with it. Haven't played Legends in a long time. Not since I was doing testing for the experimental OTK deck that I had, which, by the way, it did get a little bit closer than the first rounds of testing that I had. However, it's still garbage. I'm sorry to say that. The concept is kind of dead to me. I'm not going to be able to pull it off, unfortunately. So, yeah. Sorry for those who may have been looking forward to that, but it will not survive. Alright, let's go ahead and do a complete reshuffle. Hey, we're playing against a Empire's Cyrodiil. Oh, I forgot to switch my card back. I might, for every day of the month, switch up my card back for every video. We have Silver in our hand. That's pretty good. Not the best starting hands, though. Not gonna lie, this is kind of a crappy start. This is not helping at all. Although this is an orc deck, not a smork deck.
I will cut your purse.
So that, I think that's kind of to be expected. Okay.
Let nothing through. Close ranks.
My hope here is that maybe he plays something a little bit stronger that's in this lane so I can Stone Shard orcs. Oh, look at that. He did. I think I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, we'll play this to get rid of that.
Nothing through. Close rank. Blood and honor.
Don't really have the most optimal hand. And we can crank out Silver next turn.
Chimeric spirit of the sky, guide us.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Shadow.
Alright, get Ulant Chief. I think I would rather start... You
get one shot.
I'm just gonna use this to remove it. Not gonna be not gonna go too fancy. And next turn we can play our Battle Raged Orc and Stronghold Patroller. No, actually, I need to get rid of that. Oh, I should have played Dushnik Yell Archer instead. That's my bad. I wonder what he's setting up for. Could he be setting up for a new era? Because if he is that, and it does do what I'm hoping that it doesn't do, it could be day. That'd be very bad. All right, yeah, we're Dushnik Yell Archer. Alright, so let me get rid of this.
We must protect our stronghold.
Alright, that'll still die to
Steel
that.
stone.
Yeah, my hand has just not been like, is not good for...
I'll see you dead.
Alright, I can battle rage orc. And...
Shall heal you.
We will protect the Emperor or die
What is
trying.
this? Oh, okay.
I'm ready for anything. Going down.
We must protect our stronghold.
Alright, well, we're about to figure out what this big Doomsday card is. Because he just gave some... He... Alright, is this a targeted thing? Yeah, so... Yup. Oh, dear. Yeah, that sucks.
Bark and I'll scout ahead.
That sucks. Alright, he's gonna draw it.
Ah, Kashid.
Oh. Okay, so let's Sover.
Do you not fear immortal? You're going down.
And I'll get my card. So we're not looking in a great spot at the moment, not going to lie. Him drawing all those cards, that really sucks.
Death comes to us all.
And of course he had a silence. Every time I play this, it just doesn't work for me. Whenever my opponent wants to play, nah, well, he can have it work out. Oh, that's just me though, I guess.
Cower in fear or face my wrath.
Not quite what I was hoping for. But hey, at least we got our own, we have our own Divine Fervor.
You can't win.
Alright, let's see. I think... Ooh, that's a risky play to keep that in here. I might...
Steel and
We'll go face.
stone. I smell fresh meat.
Then toss another card up here. The nice thing about this is I could just continue to go, well, bam, like, play one here, play one here, play one here, play one here. He still dies to that. But that is fine.
Rise, my servant.
What are you? Oh, you're gonna bring back a guard. Yeah, not a nice guard.
Cower in fear or face my
Oh, I had that thought in my head. What if Mulet Chief just brought back Mulet Chieftain?
I'll cripple you.
That worked exactly the way I wanted it to.
You won't escape.
Although this did not. These are, that's not quite what I had in mind. Oh, he's wasted another one. What if I get it back again? That would just be, yep, you lose value. You lose value. You lose value. You get to lose value. You get to lose value. You all get to lose
I
value.
smell the stench of the living.
My gosh, you think that's enough buffs? Alright, Stone Shard Orc. What can I do with you?
We are not done. Not
Oh,
yet.
that's unfortunate. Yeah, I agree. We're not done just yet. So this is gonna do, I think, 3 damage. Currently. So,
You get one shot.
what does it do? 4? No, it did 3. Yep, my bad.
End of the road.
Yeah, so... Not in the best of shape, but at the same time...
You will make an excellent story.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a dumb on my part.
Behold my power.
I smell the stench of the living.
Rise, my servant.
Is this guy playing with Martin Septim? Because I won't be able to live beyond that.
Chimeric spirit of the sky, guide us!
You know, I kind of am seeing why I left for a little bit. Oh, Zumong Foon. Oh, this. Oh, watch this, ladies and gentlemen.
I command death itself.
So I'll put that on you. We'll Morkel Gatekeeper.
Let nothing through. Close ranks.
Put you on you.
Still
You can
in
trade into
stone.
here. You trade into there.
I fight for gore and
He comes
glory.
back and brings back Battle Raged Orc. And then Battle Raged Orc cannot quite kill that just yet, so.
Let nothing through. Close ranks.
Honestly, I'm kind of all inning at this point. I cannot hold out forever against him.
The Black Hand sees all.
I really can't. I cannot hold out forever against him.
Do not fear death. I'll find you the finest recruiting suit.
You fight like a child.
Succumb to me.
What's that? I don't think I've ever seen that card before. Yeah, we're dead. Ah, well.
The battle is yours.
Like I said, just having a bit of fun. Haven't played in a while. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you really enjoyed. Don't forget to share this video or any of my other videos to anybody who you think will enjoy my content. Next time... Oh yeah, I completely forgot to tell the news that I heard about Legends. So, I did I'm not 100% sure if it's true. I'm 99% sure it is because I have heard it across a couple different sources on YouTube. But I heard that apparently Bethesda's stopping production on Legends, which sucks. Because honestly, Legends was one of those games that actually, you know, it was doing well. We were kind of doing well with this. I mean, granted, Invasion happened, and I think that turned a lot of people off, myself included, for quite a while, but I think that bringing a new expansion back, along with the saying that, hey, we nerfed Invasion, would have done pretty well. But alas, what do I know? What do I know? But yeah, I heard about that. It sucks. I'm still going to continue to make content for this game. I don't think we're going to be getting the next expansion released for this game. I don't know if this game is going to ever see another expansion again, which is unfortunate. But I'm still going to be here. I still have Legend to hit, and I still have an unbelievable amount of cards to collect. Okay, not here. Let's see, where is it? Oh, I think it's right here. Nope, that's news. Yes, it should be under collection. Yeah. As you can see, I still have a lot of cards to collect. Some of these sets I already have 100% in. Well, Morrowind I think is the only one that I do. Yeah, Morrowind's the only one that I have 100% in. And we still have a bunch more cards in all the other sets to collect. Not to mention still collect all 3 copies of, nevertheless. Why do I have 23 packs? Oh wow, I have a lot of packs. You know what? We'll save these for a stream opening day, which, by the way, if you're watching this video, then you're gonna know when the next stream is. If you managed to make it to this point, first off, thank you for sticking around to this point of the video. But secondly, the first stream is going to be on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Tuesday this week at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I'm going to be starting this up. Starting up the stream. I'm going to go for a couple hours, go grinding on the ladder. I'm not sure how long. It's going to be between the realms of 2 to 4 hours. I shouldn't have said a couple hours, but yeah. So stay tuned for that. I'll be streaming then. And until next time, take it easy.